Hey everybody, it's Miss Limer here. Today we're going to talk about polygons. So polygons are part of geometry, okay? And geometry is shapes. So polygons are shapes. There's a few things that polygons have to have in order to be considered a polygon, okay? So polygons have to be flat. They have to be 2D. 3D shapes cannot be considered polygons. They have to have all sides that are straight, okay? And something that's not on here is that they have to have 3 or more sides. So they can have as little as 3 and they can go up from there. So they have to be flat or 2D. They have to have 3 or more straight sides. It has to be a closed shape, so it can't be open, okay? And it can't have any intersecting lines within the shape. So there are a whole bunch of different shapes, and this is just a few of them. You know, when you get into high school geometry, you're going to learn a lot more about shapes and how to use them and how to manipulate them and look at their angles and vertices and sides and things like that. But in this lesson, we're just looking at what shapes are called when they have a certain number of sides. So our first one, which is something that you probably have learned since kindergarten or since you were even at home before you went to school, is a triangle. Tri means 3. So a triangle is something with 3 sides or 3 angles. So there's a few different ways that we can draw triangles, and these are 3 of our different ways we can draw triangles. Triangles have 3 sides and 3 angles. Then we have a quadrilateral. Quad means 4, so quadrilaterals have 4 sides. And if you want to know more about quadrilaterals, I have a video on quadrilaterals as well. So these are quadrilaterals. We have 5 different quadrilaterals. Only 4 are pictured here, but we have a square, a trapezoid, a rhombus, a rectangle, and a parallelogram. And like I said, all of those are in my quadrilateral video. You could also have a pentagon. Penta means 5, so a pentagon is a shape with 5 sides. Now, if you notice, one of those looks normal, or 2 of them do, and 2 of them are very weird looking shapes. So there is something called regular and irregular polygons. These ones that kind of look like a houses are how you look at, or how you think a pentagon would look. There's a government building called the Pentagon, and it kind of looks like this. Also, I believe home base in like baseball is a pentagon that kind of looks like this. These 2 shapes are not so regular. They're kind of weird looking, but if you count their sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they each have 5 sides. So even though they don't look like a traditional pentagon, since they have 5 sides, they're still considered a pentagon. Then we have a hexagon. Hexa means 6, so this is a shape with 6 sides. So here we have, I tried my best to draw it. This one kind of looks like a regular, these 2 look regular, and this one is an irregular hexagon, which means it doesn't look like your normal hexagon, but it still has 6 sides, okay? Here we have a heptagon, which is a shape with 7 sides. None of these are regular heptagons. These are all irregular. So especially this arrow is kind of weird. You don't really think, I'm going to count the sides on an arrow. But if you count the sides on that arrow, there are 7 of them, which makes the arrow a heptagon. So that's something cool you can tell your parents. A 3D arrow is an arrow, or it's a heptagon. Octagon. Octa means 8, kind of like an octopus. You know, an octopus has 8 tentacles. Well, an octagon has 8 sides. This is a regular polygon, a regular octagon, and this is an irregular octagon because it has 8 sides, but it doesn't look like the normal octagon. Octagons are stop signs. So if you want to know what an octagon looks like, go look at stop signs. We have a nonagon. A nonagon has 9 sides. Both of these are irregular nonagons. So if you count the sides there, remember sides are straight. Count those sides, there are 9 of them, okay? Then we have a decagon. A decagon is something with 10 sides. A star is a decagon. A star has 10 sides. This shape too is an irregular decagon, and it also has 10 sides. We also have a shape with 11 sides, which is called a hendecagon, and a shape with 12 sides that's called a dodecagon. So there's a few different strategies that you use when you are counting the sides and vertices of a shape, okay? So here are a few different shapes that I drew, and we are going to count the sides and vertices of these shapes to determine what polygon they are. So we're gonna look at this shape first, and we're gonna count the vertices. And I'm gonna show you a strategy that we use to count the vertices. You circle the vertices. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has 6 vertices. And now let's see how many sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So notice my strategy for each. I circled my vertices and I traced my sides. So this has 6 sides and 6 vertices. So if we check our chart, we're looking for 6 sides and 6 vertices. This makes that shape a hexagon. And if you look at that, it's actually on our chart. All right, let's do our next one. You probably recognize the shape, but we're going to count it anyway. It has 1, 2, 3 vertices. So 3 vertices. And it has 1, 2, 3 sides. So 3 vertices and 3 sides is a triangle. Here we have this shape. This is another polygon. So we're going to count the vertices and the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has 5 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 sides. So if we look at our chart, a shape with 5 sides is called a pentagon. So this shape is a pentagon. And then you probably know what this shape is, but we're going to trace the vertices and sides anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it has 4 sides, or 4 vertices, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So a shape with 4 sides and 4 vertices is a quadrilateral, but more specifically, it's this shape right here, and that shape is called a square. So polygons are flat or 2-dimensional shapes, okay? All sides have to be straight. So if it's a circle or it has a curved edge, it is not a polygon. It has to be closed, so there can't be any openings in your shape, and it has to have 3 or more sides. There are a ton of different polygons, so in order to figure out what a shape is or which polygon it is, you have to count the sides and vertices. And the way we do that is we circle our vertices and we trace our sides.